Hi everyone. Today is all about shadow work and how to engage in shadow work. And I'm just going to give you a quick explanation about what is the shadow, even though I made already a video about it. Just a quick background. So shadow is an experience that we disowned, that we couldn't handle, and we suppressed it and repressed it, denied it. Basically, we shoved it into the shadow, into our subconscious. So when we deal with shadow work, basically we bring it to the surface. We bring it to the light. It's not in the shadow anymore. And when we bring it to the surface, we have control over it. We can work with it. It doesn't have its own separate existence to ourselves. It doesn't run us because we disown it and we believe that it won't affect us, but it's still, the shadow has a life of its own, and it colors our reality. It colors our reality with our past. So we don't really experience reality in an objective manner. And yeah, we react, we become overly emotional, we criticize, we project. So this is why it's so crucial to engage in shadow work. And the way I used to do shadow work on myself was basically, I used to go to the neurosis. When I used to see an expression of a shadow, an erotic expression, I used to go to the source of it. So strong emotional reaction, a strong criticism, for instance. I used to go to the source and find the root of it within myself. And for this, many times you need a good therapist, a strong mirror. And that's what I did. I had a good therapist for that. So I went to the root, and then I connected to the emotion, the strong emotion that was there. And when I connected the strong emotion, was healed. I could see that this emotion cannot kill me. Yeah, that I'm much bigger than that. I'm the watcher. I'm the infinite space of freedom, watching the shadow. And this is how shadow work is done. So what I used to do, I used to really find out incidents in my life when I wasn't living in harmony, where I had strong reactions or strong criticism. And it's very easy in a way that our reactions from the shadow are repetitive. Each one of us has his own story, his own repetitive story, and we can actually find it really in daily living. Find these incidents, how repetitive they are. And I would really sit on a bench, I remember, on the beach every day, and kind of reflect about my own neurosis, my own shadow neurosis, and pinpoint the situations when it expresses itself, and get ready for it. Yeah. And when the situation would come and the shadow would get, the emotion would get triggered, because I already connected to the emotion. I wasn't already, you see, you have to, first you have to connect to the source of the shadow. Yeah. So like this, when in the situation when the moment comes, the mechanism of suppressing and denying is not there anymore. You experience the emotion, and what needs to be done is you need to bring a presence and a strong clarity to the timing. It has to be in the right timing, that the shadow, the emotion, won't affect your interaction with the moment. Because even though at the beginning, during therapy, you already face the emotion, you face your wound, it'll still, in daily living, you're going to still react from the space, because it's habitual. And the pain might still be there. And even though you have met the pain, you still feel it again and again afterwards, when you engage in daily living, until it dies out. But basically, you so-called have to prove to yourself that you are bigger than the pain. Yeah. So first step is to to engage in and meet the pain in a therapy, in a closed environment, and then in daily living, basically prove to yourself again and again and again and again till the shadow completely dissolves that the pain cannot kill you. The pain is not needed, and you'll see you're gonna come and meet the moment, and you feel yourself getting triggered. You feel like there's a pain there. Yeah, something is getting triggered, and with the power of your own presence, you're just gonna be there. You bring presence to the moment, and just respond to the moment. So you're aware of that. You're not suppressing it. You're aware of your story. You already know intellectually what is your story. You know your where that shadow is coming from, how it's been created. You already engage in the pain, so it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just another unpleasant feeling that you have to dissolve. Yeah, with every time it will come up and you bring presence to it, slowly it's going to dissolve. So maybe at the beginning you feel it coming, and then you're going to react. Yeah, because the presence is not strong enough. But then, and it's also habitual, but then the next time you feel it, oh, it's coming, you're aware of it coming, and you say, okay, this time I'm going to respond, and again you react. You cannot hold it. But then you're going to come into a moment where it's coming. Already you see the trigger, the emotion is being triggered, yeah, and you feel it in your body, you feel it. You feel the fear, the anxiety, but you're still standing there, you're holding it. And then you're responding to the moment. You're not responding from the space of the shadow. Because you have to understand the separate sense of self that you have, the egoic self, is only knows itself through these reactions. So it holds this mechanism for the egoic self to constantly react is a way to keep his own identity alive, So there's always a temptation to react, to stay the old you. And to respond is to move into becoming a nobody, unfamiliar ground. And that's why it's also so difficult to go beyond our shadows, because we so-called have to go against ourselves. So you see, it has also a so-called spiritual connotation. It's basically dissolving your egoic self. That's why I say it's so important to integrate spiritual work with shadow work. So you use daily living as a laboratory for your shadow work. It's so important. I mean, I invested it was an investment, 10 years into shadow work. I would really see all the points where I would react, where my so-called behavior wasn't in alignment with the consciousness who I realized myself to be. So imagine that even after you realize yourself as consciousness, the mind still has its habitual patterns, trying to keep itself intact, together. And then when you work on your shadows, you polish your mind into just becoming a window for that consciousness can shine through. So shadow work is all about meeting your pain with the help of a therapist, and then using life as a laboratory to dissolve your reactions and move into a so-called a space of when you're responding, not reacting, when you're responding, when you're not coloring your reality with your past. And this is work that requires a deep sincerity and clarity and awareness, because you'll be amazed how it develops your ability, your intelligence, your awareness, the ability to see your game, to see your shadows and how they're playing their game of so-called polluting your reality. You start to see it from the space of the watcher. This is amazing. This is so liberating. I tell you, for me, it was more liberating than even waking up. Yeah, it was very liberating because freedom became tangible. You understand? When you're not reacting, then freedom proves itself in physically, because for me this is what freedom is all about, that you're free in life. Yeah. And when you're not reacting, when your shadows are not controlling you, wow, this is such a great relief. Then freedom proves itself. Yeah. And also along the way you're developing self-mastery. You are participating in your process of liberation. Yeah. Of liberating yourself from the shadow, of deepening your rootedness in consciousness. So in that process, you're also developing your intelligence, your awareness. You're deepening your sincerity, the quality of your sincerity to see everything. It's really amazing work. Shadow work is, people tend to be scared of shadow work, and it looks like, oh, so much work. But if you really value every step that you take and see what it does to you, how it develops you, how it brings you into self-mastery, then you'll be very happy to engage in shadow work, I tell you. You have to look at it that way, Shadow work when you integrate it with spiritual work is magic. It's really magic. You basically creating yourself new. You're creating yourself basically as an individual human being that lives in oneness. Yeah, he's not separate from the totality, but he's still connected to his individuality, to his unique self, with his own unique perception and creativity. This is so beautiful, really. Yeah. Then everything is a song. Everything in life is a poem. Everything is so beautiful. Okay, so thank you for listening. Bye-bye.